Whether you are born and raised in Florida or a transplant to the Sunshine State, chances are pretty good if you found this video, you are thinking about leaving. For a variety of reasons, I am getting tons of calls from Florida residents that have had enough, and Pittsburgh might just be the perfect fit. Let's dig a little deeper. My real estate business is dedicated to helping people from out of the area make a smooth transition to the Pittsburgh region. Thanks to sites like Zillow and Compass, exploring homes for sale is very simple. But if you want to know what it is like to live in specific areas and get real details about schools, traffic, local amenities, then you need my YouTube channel, Mark Knows Pittsburgh. If you're thinking about a move to Pittsburgh, get in touch so we can set up a time to discuss your needs. In addition to California, watch this video about why people want to leave there. In the past year, I have been flooded with calls and emails from people that want to get out of Florida, and Pittsburgh is at the top of their list. And if the trends continue, I suspect more and more people are going to defect and look for a place to live that is a better fit. Here are some of the reasons I hear most often. There are two distinct threats that have many Florida residents and visitors increasingly feeling unsafe. One is a threat to people for simply existing and being themselves. The political and social climate has become openly hostile and unwelcoming to the LGBTQ community and people of color. The NAACP recently issued a travel advisory warning those coming to Florida to understand that the leadership of the state of Florida devalues and marginalizes African Americans and other communities of color. Fueled by hatred and pandering to conservative extremist groups, Ron DeSantis and his ilk have been passing Don't Say Gay legislation, banning books, fighting against diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, banning gender-affirming care, restricting abortion, and making it harder to vote. Apparently, freedom, health, and safety is only available to some Florida residents, and before it gets worse, people are looking for a more welcoming and safe place to live. Many of my clients have found Pittsburgh to be far more progressive, friendly, and accepting than what they originally thought. Pittsburgh is not perfect and improvements are necessary, but we are starting to see more diversity from those that hold powerful positions within the region. Pennsylvania was once a purple state and is now leaning blue. The conservative extremists have failed to win statewide offices, and threats to voting rights, abortion rights, LGBTQ rights, human rights, and democracy itself have not been successful. The other threat endangering the lives of Florida residents are weather-related events that are becoming more frequent and more dangerous. Florida has the second longest coastline in the United States and is right in the path of storms that move through the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. With temperatures rising, oceans warming, and sea levels rising, the risks to Florida residents are intensifying. Experts from NOAA and NASA predict by 2050, the sea level will rise by 18 inches, and this will have devastating effects to coastal cities and communities throughout Florida. 60% of Miami-Dade County could be submerged by 2060. Researchers have begun to identify climate havens that have the lowest risk for negative impacts from climate change, and Pittsburgh has low risk factors. Pittsburgh has relatively cool average temperatures, winters are mild, and we are located hundreds of miles inland and safe from hurricanes. But the irony is that more and more people keep moving to Florida, and with a shortage of housing, rents have skyrocketed and so have home values. Miami was recently named the least affordable place to live in the US. The median sales price in Florida is about $400,000. In Tampa Bay, the median sales price in April 2023 was $420,000, which is a nearly 30% jump in just 2 years. But perhaps the craziest and most expensive part of owning a home in Florida are the home insurance premiums. The average homeowner in Florida pays $6,000 per year for homeowners insurance, which is 4 times the national average. By contrast, Pittsburgh is one of the most affordable cities in the country. Be sure to check out my video series of Pittsburgh area communities to consider based on price range. The median sales price in Pittsburgh is $240,000, which is fairly stable compared to 2 years ago. In fact, of the largest 50 cities in the US, only 2 cities were identified as affordable for first-time homebuyers: Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. And nobody wants to live in Cleveland. Just joking, not. So, what have we learned? Florida isn't very nice. Living there poses a lot of risks and dangers, and it's expensive. If you currently live in Florida and are looking for a new place to live, check out Pittsburgh. We will welcome you, keep you safe, and your money will go much further than Florida. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.